Hello there, and welcome to a relaxing journey back in time. Tonight, we're traveling to the heart of the ancient world, Rome. Close your eyes, get comfortable, and let your imagination drift to the bustling streets of this magnificent empire, filled with stories and wonders. Let's begin. Picture this. The year is 117 AD, and Rome is at the height of its power. From Britain in the west to Egypt in the south, the Roman Empire stretches across 3 continents. But while its might is legendary, its everyday details are just as fascinating. Did you know that the Romans loved fast food? That's right. Among the busy streets, you'd find thermopolia, little shops where hot food was sold to workers and travelers. These were the ancient equivalent of today's food trucks, offering stews, bread, and even wine in clay cups. Now, take a moment and imagine the noise of the Roman streets. Merchants shouting their wares, the clatter of carts on stone roads, and the occasional neigh of a horse. But above it all, you might hear the cheering of the crowds from a grand amphitheater. Of course, I'm talking about the Colosseum. The Colosseum is one of the most famous symbols of Rome. Built almost 2,000 years ago, it could hold up to 50,000 spectators. They gathered to watch gladiatorial games, animal hunts, and even mock naval battles. Yes, naval battles. The Romans would flood the Colosseum's floor to reenact epic sea fights. It's incredible to think about the engineering feats required for such a spectacle. Speaking of engineering, let's talk about roads. You've probably heard the phrase, "All roads lead to Rome." Well, that's because the Romans built one of the most advanced road systems in the ancient world. Over 50,000 miles of paved roads connected their empire, allowing armies, goods, and information to move quickly and efficiently. These roads were so well constructed that some are still in use today. Imagine walking on stones placed there by Roman hands centuries ago. And while we're on the subject of Roman ingenuity, have you ever wondered how they brought fresh water into their cities? The answer lies in their aqueducts. These towering structures carried water from distant springs into urban centers, supplying fountains, baths, and homes. The Aqua Appia, the first Roman aqueduct, was built in 312 BC and set the standard for these incredible feats of engineering. The sound of water flowing through these ancient channels must have been as soothing then as it is for us to imagine now. The Romans didn't just innovate in infrastructure, they also knew how to relax. Public baths were a central part of Roman culture. These weren't just places to bathe. They were social hubs. People would gather to exercise, enjoy massages, or simply catch up on gossip. The baths often included heated rooms, cold plunge pools, and even libraries. Picture the warm steam rising as you soak in a Roman bath, surrounded by mosaics and the soft glow of oil lamps. But Roman life wasn't all grandeur and luxury. Let's take a stroll into the life of an ordinary Roman citizen. Most Romans lived in insulae or apartment buildings in the city. These buildings were often several stories high, with shops on the ground floor and cramped living spaces above. Wealthier families, on the other hand, lived in spacious homes called domus, complete with courtyards and fountains. In these homes, meals were often simple but delicious. Bread, olives, cheese, and fruits like figs and grapes were staples. And for dessert, honey cakes or dates filled with nuts. The Romans even had a version of pizza called placenta, made with layers of dough, cheese, and honey. Doesn't that sound comforting? As the evening falls in our imagined Roman city, the streets grow quieter. Lamps flicker in the windows, casting a warm glow, while the stars shine above. The Romans, too, loved to gaze at the night sky. They even named many of the constellations we know today. Imagine a Roman family sitting on their rooftop pointing out Orion or the Pleiades, just as we might do now. And now, let's take a moment to reflect on their storytelling. Romans loved to share tales of gods and heroes. Perhaps someone is recounting the legend of Romulus and Remus, the twin brothers raised by a she-wolf who founded Rome. Or maybe they're reciting lines from Virgil's Aeneid, the epic poem that tells the story of Aeneas, a hero who journeys to Italy after the fall of Troy. As we drift further into the quiet of the night, think about the Romans' lasting legacy. Their art, architecture, and ideas have shaped so much of our modern world. From the way we build cities to the laws that govern us, traces of Rome are everywhere. And now, as you let yourself sink deeper into relaxation, imagine one last scene. You're walking along a quiet Roman road at dawn. The air is cool, and the first rays of sunlight touch the tops of the aqueducts. In the distance, you hear the faint sound of water flowing, a reminder of the ingenuity and spirit of the people who built this world. The road stretches ahead, timeless and enduring, a bridge between the past and the present. Thank you for joining me on this journey to ancient Rome. I hope these stories have brought you a sense of wonder and peace as you drift into sleep. Rest well, and may your dreams be as rich as the history we've explored tonight. Good night.